All right, so we're on to part two, and we spent all last week having, that was such a fun class for me. Just painting eyes was really a lot of fun. And so I'm returning to this idea of masking fluid if you've got it. These little bits, these little parts of his eyes here,
Mhm.
even though it's not totally white, it might be a good place for masking fluid.
Okay.
So we might experiment with it. And I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm doing this top part, which is right, definitely here, but then also a little bit on the sides. Here, where it's a little bit lighter, to see if that helps us really maintain. So if you haven't gone too heavy dark yet, this might be a good place to try it. And you have the masking fluid, it might be a good place to try it. Then we can get super dark in other places. Um, in my mind, trying to decide if I think it's a good idea for us to get in some of our background at this point. Um, I think it is. So the green, interesting. I have the green right here, but how did I mix it? I don't really know. Let me clean it up and see if I can make it again. Take a little bit of viridian green, right? A little bit of cadmium red. Too much, but a little bit. And then yellow. I think that does get it. I'm using a combo of cad yellow light and cad yellow medium with my viridian green. And I definitely think this is a situation, and I'm just going to work around the raccoon. I'm not going to do the entire raccoon. And I'm definitely wet on wetting it. So I'm kind of going around, getting that brush wet. I just think it'll be helpful. Yeah, I can already tell I need a lot more paint. Doesn't matter if as you're remixing it exactly the same color, although it's a little bit lighter here and a little bit darker under here. I'm not going everywhere, but I'm just going around the raccoon. Did you get to see Jessie?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
How's she doing?
She's good. She's good. We had a lot of fun.
Well, you played Rummy Cube, so.
A lot of rummy cube.
Oops. So I'm wet on wetting this, right? Trying to get a kind of smoother surface across. And then down here, I'm going to get a little darker. I'm going to add more. I'm going right into my original mix, but I'm going to use more, a lighter, a different red, alizarin crimson, and a little, and less, and no yellow, just green and red. I can finish the rest of this later, but I just wanted to get that in here to see kind of how dark I was going to make the rest of the raccoon. It's always a good idea to kind of lay this in at the sort of beginning stages of putting in your layers. And in fact, I'm probably going to clean my brush out and my brush water. So when you're done with this step, you'll want to do the same. How was your week, Jonathan?
Oh, it's fine.
Get the paper out,
Yeah,
as always.
as always.
What are they going to do without you? That's my question. When you finally get sick of it.
Well, let's just see if I'm going to retire before they go out of business or,
Right.
yeah, I feel like they'll probably go out of business before I retire. So,
When do you want to retire? Like, do you have
uh,
a plan or?
well, my partner retires in 2 years.
Okay,
So, I don't have to retire then. In fact,
right.
when we move to New York, it'd be preferable if I had a job because then
Wait
it
a
was,
minute. When are you moving to New York?
well, when my partner retires,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna get the house ready and sell it, and then we're
Oh
gonna
my
move
God,
to New York. I mean,
you're gonna love New York.
that's the plan. Yeah.
Oh my God, you have such a good time in New York. You can do like all the, you can see Paula, first of all.
I know.
You
Well,
can
that's
We
do,
that's the
plan
main reason I'm going.
later.
yeah, no, you can go see all the theater. I know you love the theater and like, oh my God, that's fantastic. Do you know where you want to live in New York?
Um, I don't know. We look at real estate like all day long. So,
Right.
uh,
That's exciting.
so we'll see when the time
Awesome.
comes. I mean, probably, if we sell the house, I mean, I think the best way to do it probably
Hi,
would would,
Christina.
would be to rent there until we
Wow.
until we find the place to buy.
Nice idea. Wow.
I
I could see you there so happy. I could see you doing so well there. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Hey, Christina, I thought you're coming on just to say hi, or are you gonna just work on
Uh,
projects?
I think I'm gonna try and just draw the baby raccoon. And
Try and
then
draw the baby raccoon. Great
yes.
idea. I mean, come on, look at his face.
It's so cute. Yeah, and I think I need to do something like relaxing before my interview tomorrow. So,
All right. That's right. Tell us about your interview.
interviewing for a news editor role at KQED, so we'll see
Oh,
how that goes.
At where?
KQED in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the public
That's-
Yeah,
PBS,
it's
isn't it?
Yeah, it's like like their or PBS or like their NPR affiliate. Yeah.
wow.
So we'll see what happens.
Yes, this is a great way. Just draw the little baby raccoon.
Yeah.
Uh, when you guys think you've got a bit of green around, you can send him over.
Oh, I haven't started with the green. I'm sorry.
Oh, what are you working on?
I was just doing more of the brown for the
Don't worry, get to stop doing the brown right now. Do the
oh, okay.
green
Okay.
because it will help you with the brown.
Okay.
It will help you with the brown. We'll go back to the brown after. Because, and also this is really good training for thinking about both the background, how the background supports your subject, right? Mine's still quite light, which is good, even the darkest parts, because I'm going to need to get in here and get heavier and darker. What I was looking at here, which is a little hard to see, and I was thinking I might actually, in fact, I'm going to do is I'm going to print out one more copy of this picture without all the marks on it. There's parts of this that are kind of bluish and parts of this that are more brownish, bluish grayish, and I want to be able to see those. So hold on. I shall. Baby raccoon. Baby raccoon. Right, you really can't beat raccoon for stress relief. Like, it is really ridiculous. Okay, and I might even pop him up a couple of times. Yeah. Almost out. Hang on. While I'm waiting on that, I'm gonna call him up and let's look at him. A couple of these elements here. We'll call him up. So I know, baby raccoon. Can you see what I
Oh,
mean? It's
Yeah, he's
kind
good.
of like a grayer and a little bit bluer here, and down here, slightly grayish blue and lighter. So this is what I want us kind of paying attention to as you're starting to get your colors in. Oh, look at those little tiny stripes. And notice his eye. If we want to look up, isn't that amazing? There's like a reflection
Yeah.
of the whole thing in his eyes. Oh my God, that's great. Sorry, I'm like mesmerized. All right, I gotta stop the share for the moment. So as we're going in to start working, remember it's not brown, it's always brown with a little blue. So as you're starting to get darker in the dark areas, this is burnt umber and ultramarine. Oh, I think I need more blue. And actually, this kind of gray color, I'm watering it down and testing it a little bit, might be a good way to, although actually, honestly, it's probably even light. Honestly, it's probably in my area here, I might not put any more on the nose. I might not put any more color on the top because I may add it in later, but what I want to look at right? See how light that is? So that's light. This is a little bit darker. I'm mixing blue and brown to make a kind of gray. And I believe to what? There we are. We're going to get dark very subtly in this whole kind of nose area. I can kind of pull it over into here. There's a little bead that kind of wants to keep, which you guys are probably running into also. And it's also super dark down here. So see how I'm kind of preserving this lighter area? Getting super dark in the eye here. I'm feeling fairly confident because I've got that masking fluid. I can see why people like it. You're like not so worried. And then I'm kind because I've still got black on my brush, this sort of dark brown. I'm like, where else can I find this? Coming down here. It gets a little browner. So I'm mixing more brown in the mix so that it's still muted, but it's kind of, and I'm noticing that the brush strokes are going this way under his little ruff. So yeah, Jonathan, you will go back in with the darker. I'm just kind of moving all around. Over here, it's dark, but it's much more red. So I'm using a lot more burnt umber, some burnt sienna, touch of blue, but less. I want it to look browner. It does. It's still got blue in it, but it's got less blue. I'm looking to see where else I can take this kind of brownishy color. Be down here a little bit. Maybe in here. Well, this feels more like kind of sort of little bits of burnt sienna here. Eventually, we are definitely gonna need, and then I'm getting lighter with my gray here. I know there's light, and we're gonna go over with, for sure, with our gouache to kind of get that fur on the top. Otherwise, it'll be impossible. And I'm bringing a little bit more brown into that blue mixture and lightening it with more water where the colors get a little bit lighter, where there's a little bit of white fur on top. So everything gets darker. The underside of his paw here, pretty dark. God. Eyes, pretty dark. Half the ear, pretty dark. The other half of the ear, lighter. I may even bring some of this dark into, it's still wet, but I'm bringing in a little bit of this dark into the lighter color on the left side. Messy. I'm going to stop here. Am I though? Here, let's see. There are these kind of little bright brown bits. So I'm laying them here and here, kind of on the edge of the white. So I'm laying them in, this is burnt sienna, laying them in kind of as the bridge of the nose pops up. It gets a little bit warmer. Now I have to let them dry, sure. No, Diana, as she gets closer to the event, we see her less. Understandably. I have to go over this band again and make it darker, but I'm waiting until it dries before I do that. This little band is the little bandit mask is the darkest part of him. You think you'll miss LA, Jonathan, or do you think you'll have had enough?
Well, of course I'll miss it. Yeah.
You won't be as close to your mother either.
Well, I'm gonna wait till she passes away.
Got it. We're definitely going to use white watercolor or gouache or gouache for the fur. No, no, not you. I'm refilling my, as I'm waiting for things to dry, I'm refilling my tubes. Unbelievable. I went looking for burnt umber all last week and couldn't find it in this little bin. And now I look at it and it's right here. Like it's like absolutely. It was just that is how it goes. I went out and bought some today and then found it. This is all white watercolor. My white watercolor here. Interesting. I'm kind of playing around up here with what happens if I take my white watercolor with a skinny brush and apply it when it's dry versus applying it when it's wet on top of other. I'm playing around with my different brushes to see how each one applies. I'll come back to this. Interesting. I'm also noticing areas when I do where there's little bits of orange in the first. So I'm going over with burnt sienna kind of in here. Up here. Kind of up here at the top. A little bit down here at the bottom. I noticed that next to the little red areas that I just added, there's a little bit more dark here. But it helps spells out the paw a little bit. Yeah. Still waiting for this to dry. I'm taking a very tiny pointy brush and loading my brush with white. I don't know if you can see it. To do things like his little claws. Want a lot of control. As I do the white, I see I need to get darker underneath. Just back and forth kind of effort. And see how I'm starting to really pull in now his little palm, which is pretty dark. I can go back in here and make the eyes super dark. Because I've got masking fluid, I'm not really worried about maintaining the lights. I know when I pull those out, as the paint kind of thins on my brush, I'm adding it on top too. He has tiny little dark nostrils here. This area becomes darker. Particularly towards the edge, the top edges of the little bandit mask. It's a little lighter in the center here, not too much. I'm using this teeny tiny little brush, so I'm not getting very far. I'm not doing the big sweeping strokes I can do with my bigger flat. But that's actually okay with me. As I kind of move around the painting, the subject, I feel like his nose is too big, and I'm wondering if I can suck it back a little bit with white watercolor. So I'm trying that. kind of works. And now I'm going to try with two different brushes and with the white. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to start with this one. I'm tinting it actually, the white, a little bit gray. A little too bright. Obviously, I'm not drawing all fur, but I'm kind of paying attention to where the light, hits between this dark area and this kind of lighter area on the outside. I'm wondering if I can get more traction by getting tiny little bits of white and doing a combo of kind of dragging, almost dry brushing, which means oh yeah, that might even be working better. See how I'm able to, I don't know, is it working better, really? Can't tell yet. Sometimes I'm using the top of the brush and sometimes I'm using the side. So I'm kind of dragging. There's a different consistencies to the fur. And as you move up in some places, the fur actually gets darker. So I actually darken my white. Try to make it go both directions. Yeah, this'll do. I pull the white over the edge of the raccoon into the green. Yeah. I skip some areas where it starts to get darker. So this is white with just kind of mostly dry brush white on the top of my thing here. And I'm paying a lot of attention to the way the fur is working, the shapes of the fur, the directions in the places where there's a transition between dark to medium or medium to light. Making sure I'm dragging in all cases when my raccoon, we hit the kind of background where the raccoon ends and the background begins, we're kind of dragging a little bit of our fur into that area so that it's soft. Too bad. So this is kind of splitting my brush, and that is what's helping me kind of do more than one stroke at the same time. Let you work on the body for a little while. Yeah, strangely, it works. I wouldn't have guessed it. Watercolor is a strange beast. Don't you think? It's a very strange beast. So I've just done kind of the bottom of the body. I'm gonna wait before we get into the top of the body. I might, no, I'm just gonna wait. I feel like even though it's lighter up here, it needs to be slightly darker than what I have it. So I'm graying, I'm getting a little, picking up a little bit of gray. See how I'm kind of darkening these light areas? Not here, but here. Yeah, and that actually seems more like what's happening. I'm gonna lighten it with the white on top. Okay. How is it going? Guys, has anybody gotten to the fur yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
So that's why I'm slowing it down. If you want me to look at it, I kind of have faith in you, you two doing you three really, doing your thing. But show me if you want to take a picture of it and have me take a look. I like it, actually. I didn't think I would. I thought it would be harder.
You're just creating magic there. I'm just looking at you and I'm in such awe.
It's well, what I did, what I want to show you I did. Let's like talk about that because I was kind of doing it because I wasn't sure how to do it until I did it.
Uh-huh.
Which is unfortunate for you because I could explain it more. So I'm laying it down here, some patches
Uh-huh.
to test lighter patches, darker patches. Here's a lighter gray, right? Let's lay some dark and light patches down, let them dry on a test piece of paper, and then try the different mark making. I used two brushes. I started with this guy, but he was too precise.
Okay,
So I moved to a flat
okay.
that can kind of split a little bit. And what I did was when I began to lay down, I tried both brushes on the sample
Mhm,
to see how they looked.
okay.
So
And then you use the gouache.
I'm not using gouache, believe it or not, I'm just using white watercolor.
Oh,
Wow.
watercolor. Okay.
Yeah, this is all white watercolor, no gouache.
Okay.
White watercolor that's kind of dry, right?
Right.
And then I used this one, this sort of bigger one. I've got a split,
Mhm,
and I kind of played with what happens when I pull it right across, and it kind of splits a little bit,
mhm.
and I can use the top and like this. So I practiced it a little bit,
Okay.
my mark making with both implements. Wound up using this a lot more.
That one. Okay.
I mean, obviously for the little claws here, but yeah, this is all just white watercolor that hasn't been, that is just out of the tube and isn't wet, right? Like you don't really wet the brush. You dampen the brush, but you don't really wet it so that you can apply it. So try practicing it and show me your practice, and then I can see if there's any more nuancing tips I can give you. I'll be right back. So did anybody try a practice?
I'm waiting for the marks to dry.
Yeah,
I don't need them too wet.
right. So I think the lesson here is a big flat is going to do better for you Then this little pointy thing. Little pointy things. Too heavy. This gives you more of a sense of a sweep of fur, right? As long as it's not too wet. Jonathan, did you try a little practice?
No,
just-
I just dove into it.
Okay. How's it going?
It's okay.
Okay. As long as it's okay, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, the real nice thing about all of this is giving yourself those options, right? You could do it one way or the other way. I kind of want to pull off my masking fluid now around my eye, see if I managed. Did I? Kind of. It did kind of work. I was able to kind of protect some areas. That was helpful. I can also see there's this little light bit kind of on the top of his ear. So I'm taking, this is where my little pointy brush comes in useful, I think. White. Same here. How's it going, Paula? Starting to get there? Starting to get a feel of it?
Definitely.
Excellent.
A
A
little
lot
rough.
of this is just practice, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not coming out as smooth as I'd like, because the dry paint.
I have that same feeling, but that's not necessarily terrible,
Yeah.
right?
It's not.
Yeah. So what I'm noticing is I'm gonna want to get a couple places under here. A little darker. What I've noticed as I've gotten into it is there's a couple of interesting dark to light transitions I didn't really see. And so now that I can see them, I'm adding them in. Yeah, it may not turn out exactly the way you're expecting it, but that's not necessarily bad. Oops. What happened? Oh, I see. My phone died. Let me plug it in. Where are you going? Oh, store. Eggs. Good tofu. If they have. Here, hold on. I'm back. It'll take a minute, but it'll be ready shortly. I'm waiting for my phone to turn back on. In the meantime, I'll show you kind of where I'm at from this perspective. If you want to, this might be a good time to hold yours up too. I darkened his cheek right here because even though it's lighter, it's kind of with the light fuzz, it's darker underneath than it is up here. He's cute. What the
Yeah.
heck? Cutie, cutie. Yeah, so Paula, what I want you to notice is
Mhm.
most areas, you're getting there, that this is all not so white, right?
The little
It's,
fur.
I mean, it's white, but it's slightly tinted.
Okay.
So those little white things that you've got poking out are a little too much, right? They don't segue with what's happening. We want softer and lighter, but we kind of want it to it's not exactly white.
Okay.
Weird,
You
but
look
true.
at mine.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Ooh,
yeah, exactly. So do you see how Jonathan, I'm gonna pop this up for a second. Do you
yeah.
see how Jonathan
You did like tinted. Oh, beautiful.
it's just lighter. It's not so we don't have little lights. It's
Yeah.
nice. This is good, Jonathan. I like this. And I like your values. They're good. The darks are dark, the lights are light, right?
You
That's
mean my conservative values?
yeah, right. I like your values. Your New York state of mind. Hold on, I think I can prop myself up. Try this again. How's it going, Christina?
I think there's something off about my proportions and I can't figure out what it is.
Are
Oh,
you
we were so off
following
in our
the
proportions.
video? Everybody struggled with
We
proportions
thought
last
ours
week.
looked like aliens when we were.
It was literally a 2 hour, pretty much a
It
2 hour
was
draw.
so hard.
Yeah,
Um,
I am, but I I don't know. I think there's
Do you want
something.
to send it over and I'll take a look?
Yeah. No.
This was harder than we all thought.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a fair thing to say. This was totally harder than we all thought. Let's see. We're back into recording. Okay. Here we go. What I want to do. I'm going to spotlight this guy. Okay. 2 secs. I'm going to do one thing here. Christine, I'm going to take one. I'm going to just finish this and then I'll take a look. Okay. Here we are. Okay. Yeah, so you're off somewhere. And the question is, here's the proportions. So this, this distance,
Mm-hmm.
Christine, at the halfway point
Mm-hmm.
is exactly 3/4 up the top of the raccoon. If you check yours, well, actually, it's not that bad. Nose is too small. So
Okay.
you have the nose kind of going like this. Here, your nose, I think your face is scooted over too much. So you
Okay.
have the nose going like this. Can you see that? I'm exaggerating it a little bit, but really it's much bigger. And it comes down lower.
Mm-hmm.
And then that makes this thing kind of come out. Everything else is in pretty good shape. Yeah. Oh, and your ears. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, you're getting there. Ears come out a little bit. You're in pretty good shape, actually. But everybody struggled with this.
So is the nose like
You've
a-
moved the nose over to the center here, and it's way too small.
okay.
Too
So
high up. It should be halfway down this quarter point.
okay.
You had it right the first time. I see your mark down here.
I
That's
okay,
where it was. That's where it is.
I psyched myself out because I was like, that seems too low. That doesn't seem right.
Just notice that that's your left brain. You'll get to a point where your left brain will actually be quiet because it knows, and your right brain will go into charge. But yeah, you questioned yourself, and that's where it is. So yeah, erase that whole bottom. and
Okay.
redraw it in here at that halfway point. That's it. Otherwise, very nice work, by the way. Good proportions.
Thank you.
But don't feel bad. Everybody struggled with that. Like every single person. Me, I struggle with it. We all struggle with it a bit.
Yeah.
And we still struggle. We just figure, okay, that's good enough.
Yeah. We get a little irritated and then we're like, I'm gonna move on and see if I
Yeah.
can fix it with the painting.
Yeah. Let the
Yeah.
painting fix it.
Yeah, let the painting fix it. And sometimes you can and sometimes you can't.
I guess it's kind of like a draft. You're just like, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely you're right that that proportion was completely off. You're right. It's like that is not going to work. Also, notice the way the fur kind of goes off in different directions depending on what part of the body it is. Interesting. This definitely needs to be tinted. What I'm kind of realizing as I'm coming up the forehead is I didn't quite get dark enough here, even though this is a brown and it's not as dark as what's happening down here, it's still darker than what I have. There's kind of this gradual shift from darker to lighter. So I'm actually going in here and seeing if I can darken just here. It's a little bit of white, so it's mixing. That's okay. Baby raccoon, drawing the baby raccoon.
Feel like baby raccoon needs to become a meme or something now.
Yeah, baby raccoon. I have an interview tomorrow, baby raccoon. I'm feeling stressed about meeting my in-laws, baby raccoon. I mean, he really does egg you on with his little face, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does. Like the more you paint you get on him, the more you're like, baby raccoon. Baby raccoon. Hey, hey, Bubba Bear, baby raccoon.
is very sweet.
Yeah. You're right, Christina. It's a good thing to look at.
It's like, why we watch cat videos on
Oh my God, all
YouTube.
day long. All damn day. All day long I watch cat videos. Jesus. I can't get enough. Baby raccoon. Uh-oh, well, my bandwidth is low. Come on. I'm gonna get a little darker. Around and the green around here, because I want actually whites of the top of the baby raccoon's head. That's the wrong brush. Let's see. Let's try this one. Like if there's one more layer of darkness, I'll be able to kind of push the lights around the edge of the raccoon and around the top of the baby raccoon's head. It's helping a little bit. Which means, of course, if I'm going to go dark up here, I'm going dark down here too. Just to darken. Now let's see. I kind of lighten. So I darkened my background so I could get this kind of cute little light around the ears edge. I don't know why. What's going on with my Wi-Fi right now, but kind of, although it's a little sadistic, it's also kind of weirdly fun. This fur. It kind of forces you to keep moving around the subject. Sorry, the bandwidth is low on this, so I'm going to fix one thing and then send over. I'll send over a picture to you. Yeah, not bad. Baby raccoon. Okay. Oh, now we're back, but I'm still going to send a picture over because I feel like you can't really see. This is better than it looks on the screen. All right, Diana just told us she's too busy, which means we're at do or die time. It's weird. I wonder if it doesn't know where to focus. I feel like I've lost a little bit of my darks here in some places, so I'm actually going back in. I'm mixing blue and brown, burnt umber and ultramarine blue again. And kind of going back in to try and recapture them a little bit without losing. And I'm finding I'm using my finger. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but it does seem to be happening. And it seems to be working a little bit. Yeah, it is. And I also feel like I kind of lost a little bit of the redness of him. So I'm trying to go back in a couple of places. In a little bit, you can kind of see the through you can see the white marks through. They just darken a little bit if you're very soft in your application. So I'm looking to see, can I darken while still kind of maintaining this feeling of and can I change the tone? I'm adding a little bit more orange, burnt sienna on top, and it seems to be working. Not too bad. I haven't really lost that feeling of fur, but definitely it's kind of I've been able to darken the places I wanted to darken and redden a little bit. Yeah. It's an imperfect science, but it is getting the job done. I'll show you the trick to do his whiskers as the very last thing. We have half an hour left, so you have plenty of time to work on him. I'm totally thrilled with this. Pay attention to the way the whiskers are, the fur is going. It's moving all different directions. I mean, it's not moving all different directions, but it's definitely shifting direction depending on whether it's sitting on his head, on his cheek, on his little body. There's an interesting shift that's happening there. I've actually been looking for a better tutorial on animal fur. The lady in the book we did on eyes totally cheats. She uses like different medium, like dry pastels and pencils and things to make the fur. I'm like, come on. Sure, we could all do that. Hmm. Absolutely. It looks great. I know it doesn't look right, but it is right.
It's so weird. It's like my brain's like feeling like
Fighting it.
something's like off, but
Mm-mm. It looks good to me.
all right.
Hmm. Yeah, your brain is fighting it and it's right. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I actually, sometimes with for certain issues, I start off by telling myself, all right, that's bigger than I think it could be, should be because it's closer. I actually start making it bigger, really big, right? Whatever's closest to me.
Mm.
Okay. When you're ready to think about the whiskers, you're gonna get a brush. Here, I'm gonna go up a little bit higher so you can see. You're gonna get a brush. You're gonna go back to your white, but you're gonna get a brush that's big enough that you can pull a couple strands from it. You're not gonna try and draw those. Let's see. I'm pinching. It's really, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm pinching like these little bits of strand away. And I'm scooping up white paint with them so that they're quite white. And then that's what you use to do the whiskers. You're gonna feel a little bit like out of control. But that's okay. You don't actually want that's the only way you can get them skinny enough and kind of uneven enough. You don't want the brush wet. There you go. That's the trick. It's the trick in acrylic paint as well. It's basically based on this idea and this thing that's really true, which is no matter how skinny my brush, I can't make a line thin enough with a skinny brush. So the only way to really create this sort of uneven texture and tone is to grab little tiny pieces of brush and drag it across wet so that it doesn't look so solid like this. And B, it's using few enough bristles. Happy to demonstrate that again, if anybody wants me to show it. Because baby raccoon. And if this drawing stresses you out, just think baby raccoon. Even the drawing of baby raccoon. Thinking baby raccoon will help you with baby raccoon. Baby raccoon. So is your interview on Zoom, Christina, or in person?
It's just a phone screener.
That's a phone screener, got it.
Yeah. So,
So
which
you
is
just need to think to yourself, baby raccoon.
baby
What is it?
raccoon. Yes.
Baby raccoon.
Baby raccoon. Fortunately, I don't need to like do my hair tomorrow or something.
Right.
That's
You can
the
do this whole thing in your pajamas.
yeah. Well, yes. I'll put on some decent clothes, but yeah, the hair and the makeup, that's like an extra level of preparation.
Right. I mean, think about how rarely we have to do that now.
I know it's like now when I do my hair and makeup, it's like, oh, it's an event.
Right. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. I'm like,
Same.
oh, I'm actually going out and I need to be presentable.
Okay, we've got about 10 minutes left in class. Where are we at, guys? You want to just show it? I can remove the spotlight. Hold them up. Oh, oh, nice, Paula. You're finding your way there. I see it. I see
Little
it.
by little.
Baby raccooning all day. Very nice, Christina. Very nice. Keep going, guys. We got 10 more minutes. Okay, where are we at? Let's take one more look.
Mm.
Oh my God, these are great.
They're
They're really totally baby raccooning it. We are baby raccooning it all the way home. Oh, all right, guys. So go ahead and finish these ones on your own. I'm gonna be looking for a tutorial, a better tutorial on like how to do fur. Because I'd like some more. I'd love it if I could get some more like depth into it. I think you're doing great, but I think it would be nice to have some tips, right? That all of us could work with. So, and Christine.